Welcome to week 11. We got a start sit show for you here today. First thing we got to do is go real quick through the actives and inactives. So we know for sure that Tyreek Hill, Devontae Adams, Jalen Warren, these guys are playing. We're going to get Nico Collins back. We're getting T. Higgins back. We're getting DK Metcalf back. Hallelujah. It's finally a week of good injury news.
Right.
So we do have some inactives, and that includes Keon Coleman, Tank Bigsby, Trevor Lawrence, Dalton Kincaid, Sam Laporta, Jamal Williams, and Noah Fant. They're all out. Unlikely to play is George Kittle. Sam, how you doing?
It's a dog-eat-dog world, and I'm wearing milk-bone underwear. So we got CeeDee Lamb also is kind of up in the air, I guess, because he tweaked his back on Friday.
That's right. Although Mike McCarthy kind of downplayed that a little bit, and he said there's nothing to worry about. Supposedly he's fine. But yeah, that is one to monitor a little bit heading into Monday Night Football.
Yeah, but bugs me a little bit that it's on a Monday and he's got Cooper Rush back there. So I don't want to see him pull a Deontay and be like, flared up again.
Exactly. Yeah, Mondays are a risk. I mean, even just going back to week 1, remember, nobody had on their radar Christian McCaffrey being out. And then he was suddenly out, and we didn't see him for 10 weeks.
Yeah, they didn't tell us till the last minute.
Yeah. All right. So I did get a question when I posted the show. I got a question from YouTube, and I promised it would be the first question that we would answer.
Okay.
And I believe you already answered it on Twitter, but Brian Thomas Jr., Ricky Pearsall, Xavier Worthy. We're starting 2 of these guys in half PPR.
Yeah, I didn't realize that was a response to the show. I'm used to Twitter on Sundays just being, my notifications are all just coming in. I said BTJ and Pearsall, even with Mac Jones. I can't trust Worthy, and now we got Juju back too. Yeah. I don't know. That could help or hurt him.
Yeah, I would say I totally agree with you. I think it would be Brian Thomas Jr. and Ricky Pearsall there. Pearsall is he's gonna benefit from George Kittle being out for sure. And I do agree with you that Brian Thomas Jr. is a very shaky start between his injury as well as just having Mac Jones at quarterback.
Right.
However, I would trust that ahead of Xavier Worthy. We just haven't seen the Chiefs show any sort of commitment to trying to get Xavier Worthy going into a significant role that would be productive for fantasy football purposes.
Yeah, and his floor is 0. So
right, exactly.
I feel like Brian Thomas is the very least going to get 1 or 2 catches. Maybe.
Yeah, his
Mac
floor
Jones.
is still really low with Mac Jones, but yeah. Let's grab this one from Julio. Julio wants to know Devontae Adams, DeAndre Hopkins, Cedric Tillman. We're going to pick 2 of these guys in full PPR. So basically, we were sitting 1 of these guys.
I'm sitting Adams.
Yeah.
I like Hopkins this week, and I'm done betting against Tillman.
Yeah, I think I'm with you. I mean, Jameis Winston returning to New Orleans in the Dome, they are going to let him sling it all over the place. Cedric Tillman has been his clear number 1 target there. It could be a big week from Cedric Tillman. So I agree with you there. And Devontae Adams is just so risky. One, he's coming in with an injury as well as an illness. He's got Aaron Rodgers as his quarterback. That Jets offense is so dysfunctional. You never know when Devontae Adams is going to go out there and have a nice game, or when Devontae Adams is going to give you 3 points. So,
or when the Jets are going to decide to get back to running the football.
Right. Now, the The matchup is tempting. The matchup makes it difficult to bench Davante Adams. The Colts defense is terrible. The Colts secondary is terrible, especially to outside wide receivers like Davante Adams. We've seen a few wideouts just completely destroy that secondary this year. So that for me makes it difficult to sit him. But
yeah, you might have just talked me into it.
I'm looking at my rankings. That's why I have him ranked for that.
Because I forgot they were playing the Colts. Yeah, I got then in that case, I'm probably gonna go Adams and Hopkins, and I'll bet against Tillman again. It's just, I mean, you got to think Aaron Rodgers and Davante Adams are licking their chops at the idea of throwing the ball down on the edge.
You just have to know, though, that Davante is the least safe. He's the most dangerous play of these three. I would
yeah,
say.
Definitely the most volatile.
Yeah, you could, but he gives you that big upside with that matchup, and gives you a really low floor because of everything I said before we realized that they played the Colts.
Right.
All right, let's get Isaiah's question in here. David Montgomery or J.K. Dobbins for the flex? I'm going to go with David Montgomery here. J.K. Dobbins, I like the matchup for J.K. Dobbins, but we saw Gus Edwards come in last week off of IR and immediately take a significant portion of the backfield work in Los Angeles. That worries me for J.K. Dobbins. Is he in a split backfield? Dave Montgomery, obviously we know Dave Montgomery's in a split backfield, but he's always been in a split backfield, and he's been a touchdown machine.
Right. All he does is score touchdowns.
Yeah, he gets plenty of work to get there. So for me, I'm going to go Dave Montgomery. I think for the Chargers, this is going to be a Herbert week. This is going to be the week where Justin Herbert is dropping back 40 plus times potentially, throwing it all over the yard against the Bengals.
He might have to.
They got to keep up with Joe Burrow
if the Bengals are clicking.
Yeah.
So yeah, I tend to agree with you. I like Dobbins this week. But I wouldn't play him over David Montgomery.
Right, exactly. Let's grab Ryan's question. Ryan is asking Josh Jacobs or hold on, not pulling up the question. Here we go. Josh Jacobs, Jaden Reed, or DeAndre Swift? This looks like a flex question from Ryan.
It sure is. I want to look at my rankings for this one.
I was thinking the same thing because I have Reed ranked pretty high, despite the fact they're going against the Bears. But Jaden Reed,
I do too. Well, you and I were just talking about him like 2 minutes ago.
But Jaden
who
Reed
is it again?
So it's Reed, Jacobs, and Swift. While you're looking at your rankings, I'm going to talk about Jaden Reed. So Jaden Reed, everybody always is concerned about playing wide receivers against the Bears because of Jalen Johnson. However, because Jaden Reed is primarily a slot guy, he's going to mostly be able to avoid the Jalen Johnson treatment. So for me, that is going to open things up for not only is Jaden Reed not going to have to face Jalen Johnson, but Jordan Love is not going to be looking out to Romeo Doubs, who's probably going to get Jalen Johnson most of the game. So he's going to be looking to Jaden Reed. So I do like Jaden Reed here. So for me, it comes down to, I don't know if this is a start 1, start 2, start 3. I don't know what we're doing here. I guess it's just picking one of these 3 guys. I have a hard time sitting Jaden Reed. And Josh Jacobs is in that same game going against the tough Bears defense himself.
Yeah.
It's a tough one. It's a tough one.
It is a tough one. I'm gonna say I'm gonna say Josh Jacobs. Because the Bears play so we'll disagree on this one. The Bears play a good pass defense, but their front 7 is kind of Swiss cheese. I think Jacobs will probably cede some carries to whoever is his sidekick this week. Yeah, I would go Josh Jacobs. They're close enough that I'm just opting for the running back.
That's fair. And if I was going to play one of the running backs, it would be Josh Jacobs. I have Josh Jacobs ranked as my RB17 versus DeAndre Swift as my RB19. So I can't really push back there. I'd still roll with Jaden Reed, but Jacobs is the good play. And like we said, it's very, very close.
I think they're going to have they're going to have similar results regardless.
Right. How about from Jared? Jared is asking PPR, Mike Williams or Jalen Waddle. So he's got two-part question here. Mike Williams or Jalen Waddle. I think for me, this is pretty clearly Jalen Waddle.
Yep.
Against the Raiders. I know Jalen Waddle, it's been one of the biggest disappointments in fantasy football this year, but the role is still there. He's on the field. He's running the routes. We saw at the beginning of the game last week, the first drive, he had 55 yards on the first drive. Can he, build off of that? Going against the Raiders, Mike Williams is in a part-time role. We heard all week. They talked about him having such a small package during the game. Poor Mike Williams. But he has a small package. The package will grow a little bit this week.
He's a grower, not a shower.
He's a grower. It'll grow a little bit this week, but not enough to Jalen Waddle. Jalen Waddle's package is way bigger than Mike Williams' package. Way bigger. Second part question from Jared. Are we going Patrick Mahomes or are we going Russell Wilson? I know we talked about Russell Wilson on the Sleepers show last week, so you know my answer here. I mean, last night.
Yeah, I think it's Wilson.
Yeah, I agree.
But it's Wilson. But I mean, Mahomes going to have to throw the ball a lot.
He is.
So, and he's dangerous when he does that, and he loves playing against the Bills. So yeah, I think I just can't resist the candy with Russell Wilson.
Yeah, the matchup is just way too juicy. He's playing so well. I have Russell Wilson as my QB10, Patrick Mahomes as my QB12. So they are both, very good starts, both QB1s this week. I would roll with Russell Wilson. How about TH is asking? Go ahead.
I've got one from Twitter. Can I do that?
Yeah, let's do it.
This is interesting. I've got Jameson Williams, DeAndre Hopkins, Kenneth Walker. This is a great problem to have. Kenneth Walker.
That's just bragging.
Aaron Jones or J.K. Dobbins. Full PPR, pick one.
All right, you're going to have to read it again because
Jameson Williams, DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah.
It's not them.
No. Okay.
Kenneth Walker,
okay.
Aaron Jones, J.K. Dobbins.
All right, so for me, it's going to come down to either Aaron Jones or Kenneth Walker. But yeah, this guy's just bragging about his team.
Yeah, he is. I'm going Jones on this because of what we talked about last night with the center being the center just deciding to retire on Friday for Seattle, which is so weird to me. So I like Jones best.
All right, fire up Aaron Jones.
All right.
TH is asking Jawan Jennings or Drake London half PPR. I still think we got to go Drake London, and it's the same thing. It's the same thing I talked about with. It's similar to Jaden Reed and the Jalen Johnson situation. Drake London going against the Broncos with Patrick Surtain. Well, Drake London plays about 40% of his snaps, runs about 40% of his routes from the slot. He's not going to be shadowed by Pat Surtain this entire game. He's going to get plenty of opportunities. And when he's playing in the slot, they feed him the football. We could see, because of this, Drake London in the slot even more than we normally do this week. And like I said, his target share when he's in the slot, I don't have the exact number in front of me, but it's pretty significant. I would go Drake London here. I do like Jawan Jennings. Don't get me wrong. I like Jawan Jennings. I want to find a way to get into my lineup, but I got to play Drake London over him.
Yeah, Jawan Jennings has wide receiver one upside.
If
he hits the upside this week. But But I got to stick with Drake London as well. Plus, they're not going to be able to run the ball. So,
right, exactly. All right. Let's see. We got Matt is asking. I mean, you can't sit Terry McLaurin. I would have told everybody in the world to start Terry McLaurin. At this point, you can't sit him with how well Jaden Daniels is playing.
Yeah, but I would have said the same thing. I would have said McLaurin. So
yeah.
This is a repeat question, basically.
Yeah, it is. Same. So different guys, same question.
Yeah, we basically. So should we change the answer?
We can't be wrong if we do. We can't be wrong.
One of them going to be really happy with us. No, I'll go. I'll stick with Russell Wilson this week. I can't resist the candy.
All right, one more from Isaiah. He's asking, pick 2, Juwan Jennings, Courtland Sutton, Cedric Tillman, or T. Higgins? Pick 2.
I'm going to go Higgins and Jennings. I think Higgins plays into the if the Chargers make it a ball control game, Higgins out targets Jamar Chase when he's on the field, and he doesn't get on the field unless he's 100%. So I'm going Higgins there, and we just said Jennings has wide receiver 1 upside. I'm going with him. Whereas Sutton, you need a touchdown. Tillman, you probably need a touchdown.
Okay, I'm with you with T. Higgins. However, I am going to start Cedric Tillman over Juwan Jennings. But I love Juwan Jennings. I think he's great. I love Courtland Sutton as well. I think Courtland Sutton is back to being a guy that we can start
once again, this is a good problem to have.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, how about Dynasty Dogs asking Jordan Love or Drake May as the QB2 this week?
I might have to look here.
Yeah, I'll pull up my quarterback rankings right now.
By the way, if anybody who is in here has not seen it before, Dynasty Dogs is a podcast. This is Michael, and their podcast is really good, so you should check that out sometime.
Check it out.
Just go on YouTube and look for Dynasty Dogs.
All right, Jordan Love for me. I know he's got the tough matchup against the Bears secondary. I think he'll be pretty much 100% coming off that groin injury. I'm not sure. I have him ranked as my QB9. I know the matchup is pretty nice for Drake May going against a Rams secondary that's not that strong. They're going to have to throw the ball a lot, keep up with the Rams offense, which could also give us extra rush attempts for Drake May on scrambles. But I am going to go with Jordan Love here. He's just got the better weapons.
All right, we're going to be split again. Right. I'm going with May.
All right. Let's get this one from Matt. 1 quarterback. We need. Wait. Why do we keep getting the same question? All right.
No. That's the same guy from the last time. He's just impatient. That's all.
Lavi is asking Anthony Richardson or Derek Carr. Anthony Richardson is back. What do you think about that? What do you think about this whole Colts quarterback carousel situation here?
Well, I think it's good that they put him back in. They never should have taken him out. Exactly. With that said, I don't trust him. So I'm going Carr. And if you got Valdez Scantling, throw him in there too.
Where were you with that last week?
I feel so dirty. No, last week I said Tipton, remember?
Well, the process was right. You just picked the wrong guy.
Well, yeah, and I'm pretty sure last week on the Sleeper Show, I chose Tipton and said, what are they going to do? Throw the ball to Marcus Valdez Scantling.
No way. Did you? I got to go back and watch that because if you actually said that, that was freaking hilarious.
Well, I had it written on the sheet. Whether I said it or not, I'm not sure, but that's what I was thinking.
Well, to be fair, I think about 50% of fantasy gamers didn't even know that Marcus Valdes-Scantling was even on the Saints at that point.
Right. Well, you love Anthony Richardson. Does that mean you're playing him over Derek Carr?
My love for Anthony Richardson has faded. However, he will always have a place in my heart. So yes, I'm starting Anthony Richardson over Derek Carr. But rather than ranking him as like the QB8, I get him like a QB20. QB20. We gotta, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, they're throwing him back in there against the Jets. Like, poor guy.
We're split on a couple of these this week.
Yeah, that's all right.
No, I kind of like it.
Yeah, it's good. Start 2, Josh Downs, Khalil Shakir, Jawan Jennings, Keenan Allen. Josh Downs, that's another thing. Like, what happens with Josh Downs now that Anthony Richardson's back? I mean, I was all for, like, Josh Downs is going to thrive with Joe Flacco. I don't know if I like Josh Downs that much without a pocket passer.
Yeah, I need to wait and see on Josh Downs. Keenan Allen, I'm selling all Bears. I'm just selling Bears like crazy or dropping them. Or if you've seen their schedule the rest of the way, it's just what are you gonna do? I mean, it's tempting to see what the new OC brings to the table. But even still, so I can't say him. And my love for Shakir is deep, but I'm gonna go Jawan Jennings.
We get to start 2.
Oh, we're starting 2? Well, there you go.
Let's go.
Shakir, and do you want to say that to my face?
That took me a minute. Yes, I agree with Jawan Jennings and Khalil Shakir. But one quick thing about the Bears offensive coordinator situation. The new offensive coordinator is Thomas Brown. Last year, Thomas Brown was the offensive coordinator for Bryce Young and the Panthers. So I have zero hope that it's going to turn around. Dalton is asking, one start in PPR, Michael Pittman, Ricky Pearsall, Jameson Williams, or Jalen Waddle. I think Michael Pittman at this point, he's on the verge of being droppable, so I'm not even considering him here. So for me, it's Pearsall, Jameson, or Waddle. It's got to be one of these 3 guys.
I'm going Pearsall.
Okay. Pearsall, yeah, I like Pearsall without George Kittle. And actually, while I'm thinking of that, I think I forgot to adjust the rankings to account for George Kittle likely being out. So I would move Ricky Pearsall up the rankings a little bit from where I have him. Same thing with Jawan Jennings, by the way. So yeah, I think in this situation, Ricky Pearsall might be the play. Because even before the Kittle news, I had him ranked just behind Williams and Waddle. They're all kind of clustered together as borderline wide receiver 3, wide receiver 4s.
I'll ride Pearsall again this week. I wouldn't be surprised if they start designing some plays for him.
Yeah, it's really, for me, it's still hard to sit Jalen Waddle, but it's just not happening. We've seen it for weeks. We've seen enough from Jalen Waddle at this point. I think we got to go Pearsall there. How about from Zach? Zach is asking, do we like DeAndre Swift or do we like Nick Chubb? Nick Chubb is interesting this week. This could be the first week that we see an actual productive game from Nick Chubb since he's been back going against the Saints. With that said, I'm going DeAndre Swift.
Oh God, it's so hard for me to bring myself to recommend Chubb, but
yeah,
I mean, I know he's going to have a game at some point. I don't know if it's New Orleans or not. Who is it? Chubb and who?
DeAndre Swift.
I mean,
I gotta go Swift. I like the matchup for.
I've got him. I've got him pretty close, but yeah, I got to go Swift, especially for catches out of the backfield.
Yeah, I agree. James is asking TJ Hawkinson, Tucker Kraft, Audric Estime. We need one flex and one tight end. So we got to start one of these tight ends, and then we got to decide between the other and Audric Estime for the flex. Audric Estime, he's getting ramped up. It might be happening.
Yeah, it's a really tough matchup. Well, not really tough, but Atlanta's no slouch against the run. So I feel like he's not going to like boom coming out party this week, but I'd be interested to see if they're going to give him like 15 carries. You know what I mean?
Right.
I like the tight ends a lot. Because who we got again? We got Hawkinson and
Tucker Kraft.
Yeah, I think you have to play the tight ends.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm going to play both Hawkinson and Kraft. It only took 1 week for Hawkinson to get back into pretty typical Hawkinson role.
Yep.
And Tucker Kraft, he can get in the end zone. How about Kevin is asking one of these quarterbacks, Josh Allen or Brock Purdy?
Josh Allen.
Yeah, Josh Allen. Ice Cold OG Jones is asking Chase Brown, Khalil Shakir, Juwan Jennings in the flex. Got to be Chase Brown, right?
Yeah, I think it's got to be Chase Brown. We haven't seen what they're going to do with Herbert yet, what kind of role he's going to play. So until they show us otherwise, you just got to consider Chase Brown being the big dog in that offense.
Yeah, I agree. I think Herbert he's kind of just going to be the backup. I don't think we're going to get much of a significant role ever from Khalil Herbert, because what we were seeing with Zach Moss was playing a lot in passing situations because they didn't trust Chase Brown. Well, now they started to trust Chase Brown, and Khalil Herbert is not a guy that catches passes. He has 45 career receptions in 4 years. Chase Brown is almost at that number through 10 games this year. So
yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see Chase Brown have 5 or 6 catches this week on top of whatever yardage he puts together.
Yeah. Kevin's asking another question here: Jordan Addison or Rashad Bateman?
Rashad Bateman. I'm completely out on Jordan Addison.
Yes. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Jordan Addison is a fraud. Always has been. Always will be. If Jordan Addison is not scoring touchdowns, then Jordan Addison is worthless. Jason is asking DJ Moore, Jalen Waddle, or Jackson Smith and Jigba as the wide receiver 2 in a half PPR setting.
I'm tempted to say JSN, but with DK Metcalf back, I'm gonna go Waddle.
Ooh, okay, all right. I'm gonna go JSN. I'm gonna hope. I know that, like you said, DK Metcalf is back. There's definitely some risk here, but I'm hoping that the Seahawks saw what Jackson Smith and Jigba did prior to the bye week, and like, oh, this guy can actually win down the field. He doesn't need to run these 4-yard routes, and start utilizing him more in that situation. And maybe it's not in the DK Metcalf role, but maybe he starts eating into some of those Tyler Lockett routes as well. I'm going to lean Jackson Smith and Jigba here.
Well, and the question is also, how much time is Geno Smith going to spend on his back?
We talked about the center.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, and I hate to keep harping on that, but their offensive line was already bad, and then they lost a starter.
I'm really disappointed that you didn't bring the name of the new center. Can you remind me of the new name of the center?
Yes, it's Oluwahatimi.
All right, you nailed it.
He's played 4 snaps this year.
All right. Breaking center news from Sam. All right, how about this one from Kyle? I'm actually impressed that you had the name right there. I honestly didn't think you were going to be ready for that.
How do you know? Because I think I added an extra syllable.
Well, I know I would never be able to say it, so I got to make you say it. How about Kyle is asking Romeo Doubs, Nick Chubb, Travis Etienne. We got to pick one running back and one flex. And this is a full PPR.
I don't want Doubs. I'll take Chubb and Etienne.
Yeah, I agree. Chubb and Etienne. I would rank them Etienne Chubb,
Yep.
Dobbs. ETN could have a nice week this week with no Tank Bigsby. He's going to get the full roll back for
I agree.
Travis Etienne.
At least for 1 week.
Yeah. How about Cole Kmet?
You're welcome, Jason.
Cole Kmet or Jonnu Smith?
Jonnu Smith.
Yeah.
He's my tight end 1 this week. If anybody tuned in last night, we do a sleepers and streamers show on Saturday nights, and my bold prediction for the week was that Jonnu Smith would eat the Raiders alive, and the Miami Dolphins consequently would eat the Raiders alive. So I love Jonnu this week.
Well, if both of our bold predictions come true, then Jonnu Smith will be the tight end 1, and Dawson Knox will be a top 5 tight end right along with him. How about this one from Lucas? Lucas is asking J.K. Dobbins or Khalil Shakir?
Oh, that's a good one. I'm going to go Dobbins.
Okay.
I'm going to go Dobbins. When Cincinnati puts it together, they can play a good run defense, but it's few and far between those times. Like, they really have to be pumped up, and I don't think they're going to be pumped up for this one. They have a bad case of play down to your opponentitis. So I think Dobbins is going to get his in this game. He's definitely good for a touchdown.
Yeah, I'm going to go J.K. Dobbins as well. I know Gus Edwards started eating into that role a little bit. I do like Shakir, but the Chiefs defense is pretty decent. And we are going to get Amari Cooper back today as well. So, let's go J.K. Dobbins here.
I think Josh Allen might run for 100 yards in that game.
Ooh.
That should have been my bold prediction.
That should have been the bold prediction. All right. Bonus bold predictions on the Starts It show. Nobody.
Isaiah's back.
Isaiah is asking T. Higgins or Cedric Tillman. This has kind of been like, for me, this has been like the debate of the week. When I was making my rankings this week, this was a really tough one for me. T. Higgins or Cedric Tillman?
I'm going to play Higgins.
Yeah, I ultimately, when I was making the rankings, I did put T. Higgins ahead of Cedric Tillman. I've actually gotten this question a couple of times this week. I think somebody asked it in the Yards for Fantasy Discord as well.
I mean, like I said, and I'm not just being a homer. For those of you guys that don't know, I'm a Bengals fan. But if you are out targeting Jamar Chase of all people, then it's probably worth it for you to be in the lineup.
Jamar Chase is pretty good. Last I heard, Jamar Chase is
pretty decent. Yeah, he's all right.
That's pretty good. Right. Yeah, what did he do last week? Like, he put up like 55 points or something.
Yeah, something like
that. T. Higgins, I for what it's worth, I do have them both ranked inside my top 24 wide receivers. So I'd really like to try to find a way to get both, because I think Cedric Tillman could have a nice game against the Saints, but got to lead towards T. Higgins here.
Right.
All right. So it looks like to me that we've gotten to the end of the questions. We're only 2 minutes away from kickoff. Do you have any last, Twitter questions you want to throw out there, or?
No, I think we got them. I answered like 2 here, and then 2 of them were from our posts. So, I think I'm good. Last call. Anybody? All bets.
I'm not seeing anything else in the chat. We got to them all. We did it.
All right. Well, let's go watch some football.
All right. Wait. We got last one. Lucas, Tua Tagovailoa or CJ Stroud? Tua. All right. That's our show. Good luck, everybody, today. Enjoy some football. Make sure you're subscribing to the Yards for Fantasy YouTube channel. We got content coming for you all week long.